Welcome back, FPL managers. This is my channel, FPL INKLING. My name is Mo, and today we're going to be doing a special stream on the Game Week 29 blank week chip strategy. How are you guys going? How's it been? I hope Game Week 27 is looking after you guys and you guys have made the right choices. So what we're going to do today is I've literally got a team up where I've put in 15 players for the 4 games that we have in the 29 game week, which is a blank game week for many other teams. So what I've done is I've made like a template for us to review, my rationale for why I've chosen these players and how I think you guys can actually maximize from your chip strategy. But before we begin, let me guys just go through a few things with you. This is my brand new channel, FPL INKLING. If you guys like what you see and this is your first time here, please click the like button, hit subscribe if you like what you see and you want to be a subscriber to my channel. I do have a bet, if you guys haven't heard this before, for a PS5. If I can hit 500 subscribers by the end of this season, which is Game Week 38 reaction stream, I will win a PS5 from the bet that I've had with one of my best friends. So please click the subscribe button. I'm almost at 100 now. You guys are getting me closer and closer to the aim and the target, so thank you so much for subscribing, and hit the notification icon if you like what you see and you want to get the notification as soon as I release some content. You guys hit that button and be ready to see some amazing stuff from me. So that's all in terms of the subscribing and liking the video and being part of the community or the family of FPL INKLING. But what we're going to do now is go through the chip strategy and go through the fixtures and tell you guys what I believe will be the best strategy for you to maximize your returns from that blank week. So there's a potential blank week in 29 which is already released in terms of fixtures. So we've got the fixtures at the bottom right of the screen, which we'll go through one by one, and I'll go through the 15 players that I've selected, my rationale behind it, why I've selected them, and how I think they will be the best returns options for you going into that week. Now myself, I've played my free hit and wild card already, so it won't be something that I will be using for this game week. But there may be a few transfers out of these players that I will bring in. So I'll go through those with you and I'll tell you the reasonings why they'll be brought in to your team. So some of these players you already might have in your team long term, or you've done some pre-planning and done a few transfers on a week-by-week basis beforehand. So let's go through the players that we do have. So the 4 fixtures for this game week for 29, it's Fulham versus Leeds, which is Friday the 19th of March, which is a late kickoff. You got Brighton versus Newcastle, West Ham versus Arsenal, and Aston Villa versus Spurs. So none of the games look easy on paper. I think they all look quite difficult fixtures for the relative teams participating. But let's go through them one by one and diagnose where I believe you can maximise your returns from your players. So I think we'll go through fixture by fixture, and then I'll go through the players that I have in my squad and why I've chosen them, comparative to the other players that may be in the squad for that game week. So Fulham versus Leeds, I think it's going to be a great game, expansive. I felt really bad for Scott Parker against Spurs. They should have had that goal allowed. I don't understand what's going on with the FA. I'm not going to go into it too much, but you know, these kind of decisions will cost teams financially, maybe even a position in the league. So they need to be spot on. VAR has improved the game, but I believe it can be used a lot better. But let's go through a few more players to watch from this game. So from Fulham, I've got Areola as one of my goalkeepers. He will be my second choice because I put Fabianski number 1. Personally, because I think he's a better goalkeeper in a better team, and I think he's got the potential of getting a clean sheet more likely in the West Ham versus Arsenal game than Fulham Leeds. But Areola has done really well for the price tag. He's got a really good return. So let's go through him this season. So he's owned by 4.7% of the managers, only 4.5 mil, and he's on 99 points. If you see someone like Burton Leno, who's 5 mil, which is $500,000 more, he's on 94 points. So he's actually got more points being cheaper in a defence. And his last couple of game weeks, so if we take him for the last 5 game weeks, he's got 1, 2, 3 clean sheets, which is not bad for a Fulham side who's surviving for relegation. And overall this season he's got 7 bonus points along with 8 clean sheets. So for me, it's a good prospect to have as a second goalkeeper. Now, if you're looking to play your bench boost, I've made a squad here of 15, so if you are looking to play your bench boost chip rather than the free hit or a wild card, then this is an essential guide for you to follow, and you might be able to get the most points from me out of 15 players for a game week where I think most managers will be without any chips at this present time. If they have saved it, it might not be the free hit one. So that would be a really good opportunity for you to select the right keeper, the right fixture, and make sure that you can at least get not even the clean sheet, but at least get some save points, which with Leeds, they're going to be going for all the game itself. That's the way Bielsa plays. He likes to be aggressive. He likes to take on the team. And I think that's a really good fixture for Areola to get a few saves under his belt, because Bamford, Rafinha, Harrison, Dallas, these players, Alioski, all like to push forward and give the opposition a tough time. So Areola was a no-brainer for me to put in the game week itself. So if he is going to be part of your bench boost, then he should be your second keeper, if not first. Anyone else from Fulham in my team I don't have. So we'll go through to the Leeds players now. I've tripled up on Leeds, starting with Dallas. So Dallas is at the moment owned by 21.5% of managers. 5 mil is the price. He's got 113 points. Absolute mean stats for a defender. 5 goals and 3 assists. So 8 returns for a defender who's only worth 5 mil. And he's around the same price. He's around the same returns as at the moment, if not more, than what Trent, who's a premium defender, has given back this season. So 8 clean sheets, as you guys can see, and he's got 11 bonus points. So not only has he got a defensive attribute, but he's also got the potential to be an attacking return. So he can sometimes play ahead of the defensive line rather than just being part of the defence itself. So Bielsa likes to have a bit of a shift in the formation or the aggression, or whoever goes up for set pieces. So I believe that Stuart Dallas will be a really good shout for game week 29. And if you're going to keep him in for a long term, let's look at his fixtures coming after that. He's got Sheffield United, Liverpool, Manchester City and Manchester United. Those are the tough games, but if you look at the game weeks after, barring Tottenham, I think they're all manageable in terms of Brighton, Burnley, Southampton and West Brom. I don't think you need to look at him from a perspective of someone who's going to get a clean sheet. I think he's more of a player who's going to be a regular, and B, he'll have the attacking perspective of giving you an additional player who can have an attacking return for that week. Number 2, I've got Rafinha. Absolutely bargain for what price you pay for him. He's 10.2% owned by managers, 5.4 mil in terms of price. He's got 94 points this season. He's got 5 goals and 6 assists. And if you look at his last 5 game weeks, he's got 2 assists and 1 goal. So 3 returns in the last 5 game weeks. In terms of bonus points, he's got 9. I think he's a real key part of the attacking line of Leeds. So Rafinha managers, if you did bring him in to triple up on Leeds a couple of weeks ago and you still got him in your team, keep him in. I would not take him out. But if you don't have him in, do consider bringing him in, because he might be a player that can take real advantage of this fixture against Fulham and get a double game week return, or a double score game week return for you guys. And Patrick Bamford, I've got him in my squad at the moment, 6.8 mil. More than 50% of managers own him, and he's got 142 points this season with 13 goals and 8 assists. So his bonus points are 16. I think in terms of the fixture against Fulham, it can't get any better. He might be a captaincy choice for me that week. It's yet to be decided, but Patrick Bamford, in terms of the opposition he's playing, the ownership he has, the goal return and assist return he has in terms of being a forward line player for the team of that game week and the fixtures, I think he's my favourite choice for being captain for the game week 29. The next game is Brighton versus Newcastle. I've got Lascelles in defence. Now, he's not going to be, if I'm playing a 11 without bench boost, he's not going to be my starting 11, but I put them in because I think he will start. He's a differential in terms of ownership, so only less than 1% of managers own him at the moment, and his price is only 4.2 mil. He's come back from a long-term COVID-related illness, so he's slowly but surely getting back into the kind of like flow of the Premier League. He got a double-digit game week return last week against Wolves. He was man of the match, he scored the goal, and he got bonus points as well, which was 2 bonus points for that game. So he's done well. He's the captain of the club. I think he is someone who's not actually under the radar of many managers. So if you're looking from a differential perspective, the game week fixture he does have relative to the ownership, definitely a good pick to select in your squad. I wouldn't say be differential and put him as captain, because I think that's a bit too risky at this point, but putting him in as a player, even in the 11, But for me, he'll be someone who'll be on the bench if I was playing bench boost this week. The next defender I've got from that game is Lewis Dunk, the captain of Brighton, owned by around 6% of managers, and he's worth 4.9 mil with 84 points he's achieved this season, with 3 goals that he scored, and he's got 7 clean sheets and a total of 10 bonus points. So he's not done bad at all. And against Newcastle, without Callum Wilson, without St. Maximin, are they potent enough to test their defence? They were unlucky a couple of weeks ago to miss 2 penalties against West Brom. When he goes forward to attack set pieces, he's a very, very good source of goals, if not a threat, to give the others a chance to get the likelihood goal or create uncertainty within opposition defences. So Lewis Dunk, get him in. I would definitely put him in my starting 11 for that game week. I don't have any more players from the Newcastle and Brighton team game that week. Moving on to the Sunday, so the game of Arsenal-West Ham. So I've got 5 players from this game week, so I'll start from the back. So I've got Fabianski. He's injured at the moment, an arm injury, so if he plays, great. If not, we'll get more closer updates to the game when the game arrives in a couple of weeks. But I'd keep him in mind. I think he's been a phenomenal keeper for the last couple of years, very underrated. If Fabianski doesn't play, I may be tempted to get Leeds goalkeeper or the reserve goalkeeper for West Ham, but for now, I would definitely say Fabianski is number 1. And if I was playing a 11 squad, out of the 2 goalkeepers I've selected, Fabianski would be my first choice. He is worth 5 mil, 99 points, and only owned by about 3% of fantasy managers. He's got 8 clean sheets, 9 bonus points, and he's made 68 saves so far this season. He's missed the Man City game with injury, but if you look at his last 5 games, he's got 2 clean sheets, and he's got a couple of bonus points in there as well. So Fabianski, for me, has always been someone that is worth considering in the back line. And if you have him in your team, great. If you're looking to just do a free hit or a bench boost, get him into your squad, guys, and maximise your points tally. From Arsenal, I've got Hector Bellerin. Now, everyone has their reservations about him, but from a fantasy perspective, he always gets forward. Not maybe someone who I'd kind of recommend in terms of a clean sheet prospect because of the offensive line of West Ham during this week. But in terms of an attacking perspective, for 5.1 mil, he's got 83 points this season. It's not a bad shout. He's got 1 goal and 3 assists with 15 bonus points so far this season. And I don't see a reason why he cannot be trusted. I mean, you've got Martinelli, Gabriel, who's been in and out of the squad. He's only like one of the people who may get rest here and there because of the Europa League and games that are coming up sharp. But Hector Bellerin, for me, as a perspective for this game week, is a good shout to have in not just the 11, but I think if you're playing a bench boost, definitely in your 15 itself. The second player I've got is the captain of Arsenal, Aubameyang. Now, he may be someone I consider for captaincy because he's got 3 goals against Leeds where he scored a hat-trick, and he's just got a goal against Burnley too. His price is 11.3 mil, owned by around 7% of managers, so his ownership is rising. And he's got 96 points this season so far, compared to the 205 he's received in the last 2. It's actually both campaigns in 2019 and 2018 for Fantasy Premier League managers. So he's nowhere near the goal tally of 22 goals in each campaign. He's on 9 goals and 1 assist, but he's got some really good fixtures coming in at the end of the season. He's got 9 bonus points. So after the game week 29, which is a West Ham game, he's got a Liverpool game, Everton and Chelsea. But if you look at his remainder fixtures, Sheffield, Fulham, Newcastle, West Brom, Crystal Palace and Brighton, and Hove Albion. Now, there's a lot of teams in and around the spot of the Champions League to Europa League. A lot of people have written Arsenal off this season, but if you look at the game week fixtures that they have for their squad, and you compare it to someone like Chelsea, Liverpool, West Ham as well, who are in and around Everton, those teams who are just between these teams off the top half of the table, I do believe Arsenal have the more favourable fixtures. I know they like to shoot themselves in the foot by making silly errors, but with a player like Aubameyang in your squad and Willian, who's firing with Pepe, I don't see, or Saka, sorry, I forgot Saka from that perspective. Saka as well, why would you not back them? This might be a great chance actually if you are making a wild card transfer. why not consider kind of bringing in 3 Arsenal players and just taking a differential approach? Because I don't think many managers will own them. The temptation will be to go towards Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, but I don't think there'll be much focus around Arsenal. So based on these fixtures alone, I may actually think of even tripling up on Arsenal myself. I might have to wait a couple of weeks to get those transfers in, but looking at the game week 31, I don't see why not. I cannot go for a triple Arsenal approach. So I might even get Aubameyang, Saka, Willian. It might be a triple attacking line. It may pull off, it may not come off, but why not? This is the time of the season. If you want to have the game week rises or the rank rises, you'll have to make these kind of brave choices to move up the ranking points. And then the next part is my favourite, Willian. He's been given the harsh treatment this year by most Arsenal fans, and deservedly so. But if you look at his current form in the last couple of weeks, he's worth 7.5 mil, owned by about 2.7% of managers, 56 points this season. But if you look, he's got an assist against Leicester, 2 of them, 1 against Burnley. So he's got 3 assists in the last 2 game weeks that he's played. And so far he's got a total of 16 points. So maybe consider him. He's probably coming into form. And I don't see why not he cannot be brought into your squads. But I wouldn't, if you're looking to bring him in as a free hit or for that chip strategy, now's the time. They've got Tottenham, West Ham, Liverpool, which on paper seem a harder fixture for Arsenal, but I don't think it's the harder fixtures that have been the issue this season. It's more of been like the teams they're expected to beat. So I may wait till game week 31 to actually bring him in against Sheffield United. If I see how Liverpool fare in the next couple of games, I might even be tempted to bring him in game 29, so I get him through all the 3 game weeks all the way to the end of the season. So Willian would be another player I'd bring in from that game itself for the Arsenal squad. And last but not least, from the game of Arsenal-West Ham, is obviously Antonio. I don't think it's going to be possible for many managers to not have him in their squad. He's owned by about 12% of managers of the game, 6.5 mil, 78 points. Now, that's been due to injury layoffs during the season. He's got 7 goals and 3 assists, along with 13 bonus points. He's a great shout. He's a physical presence in the box. He likes to get in and around the areas to cause uncertainty for the defenders. He's not only going to be in my 15, but he would be my 11 if I was playing him with the chip strategy. So Antonio, if you want to get him in, might bag a couple of goals, could get an assist, score a penalty against the leaky Arsenal defence. I'm calling them leaky, but they're actually one of the best defences in the league. But when they do shoot themselves in the foot, they do look quite vulnerable. So Antonio will be my choice for another striker that I'd bring in. And the last fixture of this game week, which is going to be Aston Villa versus Spurs. Mings is an automatic choice, a leader from the back, owned by about 8% of managers, 5.4 mil, and he's got 100 points this season. Aston Villa have been really good defensively with 12 clean sheets, 2 goals and 1 assist. And he's got 7 bonus points. So Mings is like a force from the back who will lead his squad, give him instructions to really, really drive the team forward. And if you're looking to bring him in as a free hit, then he's a great 1-week defender to bring in. However, if you're looking to bring him in as a wild card, I'll go through his fixtures, and this is where you need to be a bit alert to the fact that the game week fixtures for Aston Villa don't look as gracious as probably Arsenal. So if you bring him in on game week 29, so they got Tottenham, followed by Fulham, Liverpool, and Man City. Then they've got West Brom, Everton, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, and then Spurs, Chelsea, and Everton. So they're all very, very tough fixtures, barring the odd game against Crystal Palace, which I believe they could manage, and Fulham and West Brom. So again, from the perspective of how they've done for this season, I would say it's worth trusting them. But without Grealish, and it might be the end of the season where they think they've achieved what they had to. Do they really want to be in Europe next season? I'm sure they do from a financial perspective. So it'll be interesting to see how Aston Villa can sustain the good work that they've done. And Tyrone Mings is going to be someone who's a key asset or part of their end of season performance. Of course, Gareth Bale, he's done well in the last couple of weeks, owned by 2% of managers, worth 9.3 mil, 43 points so far this season, but he's primarily been played as a player who plays Europe or the odd FA Cup or League Cup game. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists, and they've come in the last couple of game weeks against West Ham and Burnley. He's got 6 bonus points, and let's look at his fixtures that are coming along. So he's got 1 game week, which is still to be decided against Southampton, so that might be a double game week later on the season, might be around 36, 37. He's got Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Newcastle, Manchester United, Everton, and then he's blanked in 33 because of the League Cup final, followed by Sheffield, Leeds, Wolves, Aston Villa, and Leicester away on the last day of the season. Now, the problem with Gareth Bale is he going to remain injury-free? Will Jose trust him? For a player, you're going to be paying 9.3 mil. Is he a confirmed starter or is he a rotational player? Now, that's a risk you might want to take or you don't want to take. For me, he'll be a free hit. I'll bring him in for 1 week and then swap him back out because I don't think I've seen enough to warrant a starting 11 position, because if you're paying 9.3 for a player who's not starting, I'd rather pay 9.5, 9.5, 9.7 for Son or Rashford, who at least I know they will be playing week in and week out. Son is the other player, again owned by 54% of the managers, 9.5 mil, 173 points. He's been absolutely amazing this season. 13 goals and 8 assists with 22 bonus points. And again, his fixtures I've been through already for Spurs. He's the regular, so if I was looking to choose between Son and Bale, I would have Son, despite his high ownership. You know he's going to play week in, week out, and he's one of the most trusted men from Jose Mourinho. And the last person who I'm going to choose for this game rank of my 15th player is Harry Kane. I know I talked about potentially Bamford being my captain, but that was based on the fact they're playing Fulham. Now, Harry Kane, he's going to be playing this week against Villa. Are they going to be a defence that they can actually rip apart like Burnley? I don't believe they'll go from that direction. I think if there's going to be a win, it's probably going to be a 2-1 or a 1-0 or a 2-0. So nothing too major in that regard. He's owned by about 33.8% of managers, 11.1 mil, 163 points. So he's the highest point scoring forward in the league this year, and he's always there or thereabouts in the season. How great his season's been: 14 goals, 11 assists, and he's got 28 bonus points. And the fixtures we've been for already for Spurs themselves. So Harry Kane should be in my squad for that week. If you're going to bring him in, he can be left for the rest of the season if you're going to spend that much money on him. Free hit, if you've already got him in your squad, leave him in. If you're looking to bring him in just for the week, get him into the starting front line. So for me, this would be the squad. If I was to choose 11 players from this squad, Fabianski would be in goal for me, followed by Ben Dunk. I would have Mings and Dallas. So I'll be playing a 3-4-3 formation, with Aubameyang, Willian, Bale and Son as my midfield, Rafinha on the bench, and my 3 strikers would be Bamford, Kane and Antonio. So that is my game week strategy for 29. I believe there are some fixtures that are going to be announced for game week 33. They haven't been announced yet, but if you are looking to bring these chips into play, then you might want to hold on. And if you feel that these fixtures aren't lucrative enough for you to use your chip strategy, then it may be worth waiting for game week 33. When I find out more about it and I get some more fixture guidances and confirmations, I will make a video and let you guys know. But for this time, we have 29 game week fixtures released. There are only 8 teams playing with 4 games, which we've gone through. So have a look at this video, guys. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, send them through to me on here in the comments section. You can contact me on my Twitter page or my Instagram, and I'll get back to you with my responses. Thank you so much for viewing this video. You're part of the FPI INKLING managers group as well in terms of the league code. It's on the bottom left. You're part of the FPL family or the INKLING team. My name is Mo. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel to get me to those 500 promoters, but the first target is 100, which I'm only a couple of subscribers away. Hit the notification icon if you want notifications for my next videos. And it's been great being part of this show, and I look forward to doing another stream very soon. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys soon. Best of the game week luck for this game week for you managers out there.